¿Cómo están? ¿Bien?
Bien, bien. Ah, muy bien.
I just was watching the forecast and it says that it is raining outside. So that's the most accurate forecast is the one at the moment. So we're gonna have one of those Patagonian days today, probably. Now look at the black neck swans, pretty close. By this time of the year, the lake is very high. You can see that this area looks kind of flooded. The lake reaches the maximum level at the end of the summer. Now we are in. No, the summer ends on the 21st. So there is more snow melting. So the lake reaches this level. There is a difference of levels between the end of the winter and the end of the summer of about 10 feet.
Wow. Yeah.
Which is a lot.
Yeah.
There is a rodeo, yeah. It's a kind of a rodeo. There is the competition is about getting on a horse, untamed horse, and stay on the horse as much as you can, and they evaluate your performance, how good you are, and if you can stay all 20 seconds on the horse.
Sounds like a rodeo.
Yeah. Patagonia very very important for the gauchos of Patagonia, because the ranches are very very big. An average ranch of Patagonia will have around 120,000-150,000 acres. And there is no roads in between, inside, so all the communication is done by horse. If you take a look to the street signs, you will see. You will see the name of this avenue is Avenida Costanera, Waterfront Avenue, Presidente Dr. Néstor Kirchner. They lived here. Néstor and Cristina has their house here. And actually, you know that Néstor Kirchner, former president, died by a heart attack in 2010. They were here in Calafate. So they really, of course, he was our governor, so he lived many years in Rio Gallegos, in the capital. But this was like their place in the world, Calafate. And that's why, I have to say it, Calafate is so nice. Such a beautiful town and such a, let's say, in a way, has such a important town because of them. Having the presidents of your country living in your small little town in the middle of nowhere for 12 years really helps a lot when you need paved roads, nice waterfront, the new hospital, new schools. Remember, Calafate was growing some years, in only 1 year, in 2005, it duplicates the population. We went from 6,000 to 12,000 in 1 year. And of course, you need everything. So you need the land for people can build houses. But you also need all the services, the electricity, the gas, the sewage, the water, and also you need all the other services. Bigger hospital, new schools. It's a very young population. The range between 30 and 40 and 0 and 10 are the biggest. So you need if you build 3 kindergartens, you know that in 3 more years you need to build 3 elementary schools, and in 7 more years you need to build 3 high schools, because those kids. So having the presidents for 12 years really helped a lot, and having now Cristina as a vice president, I'm pretty sure that will help us a lot in the next 4 years. Having the other president, Mauricio Macri, from 2015 to 2019, was really unhelpful. It was like a vendetta against us, having the other president. So Calafate was out of the maps of for example, all the advertising, all the national campaigns of tourism. Calafate were not there. The flights we lived, because there is an airport in Calafate. Coming by car is almost impossible. We are 2,000 miles from Buenos Aires. A bus ride takes about 42 hours. So, and the biggest airline is the national airline that is controlled by the state, by the government. So, if you have a government that doesn't like your city, they don't give you enough flights, so you don't have enough people to motorhomes, campers. Yes, that is the area where the city hall allows people with campers to park free. Yes. And usually there is actually, because traveling by camper, by motorhome is not really very it's a big tradition. It's not a big tradition in Argentina as it is in the States, for example. But there is a lot of people from the States or from Europe coming with their motorhomes all the way down here. So in a way to organize this, there is no law written. So basically, if you want to park your camper on Main Street and spend the night there, you can do it too. But what the city hall officials do is they just suggest people that they can spend a nicer night, watching the moon at the coast of the lake, so they all come here. Southern crested caracara. This is a nice specimen.
Can you see it?
Right there.
I swear that's the one.
Yeah, it would be nice if it flew.
This is one of the most common raptors in South Patagonia. That's the caracara. There is two species of caracaras. There is a chimango caracara and this one, which is the southern crested. Caracaras are also very common in all South America. I mean, in the south of Texas, for example, they have the ability to hunt, but they're always looking for the easy catch, for the easiest way to get energy, and that is not hunting. That is scavenging, or just perch here on the fence at the side of a road, waiting for somebody hits the hare, and then have a free breakfast.
Roadkill. There are two of them. I was looking at one, but there are two.
Is for you to finish this day understanding what is a glacier and why we still have so much ice and so many glaciers down here in South Patagonia. You know that Glacier Perito Moreno, the glacier that we are going to explore today, is unique. This is nothing to do with my Argentinian modesty, but it's really unique. There is no other glacier in the world like Glacier Perito Moreno. That's why I like this very much, this program, because we finished. You finished your Patagonian adventure in my glacier, and it's like the icing of the cake, Glacier Perito Moreno is unique, not just by one thing, but by a number, or by a sum of things, of characteristics that makes it the only one of its kind. And the first one, of course, the most obvious is this, the access. We're going to drive to the front of the glacier, the size of Buenos Aires city, with the front wall of a 20-story building. And we're going to drive to the front of the glacier. And we're going to explore and observe the glacier in a set of beautiful, viewpoints, beautiful metal steel ramps that are right in front of the glacier. So many other big glaciers in the world, if you want to go explore them, you have to take a ship or a boat and you sail in front of the glacier. So you see the front wall of the glacier. Here we have a mountain right in front of the front wall of the glacier. So we're going to be walking at the slope of that mountain right in front. So that access, only 50 miles, and you are looking at the glacier the size of Buenos Aires, is the first characteristic, but it's not the only one. You know that there are glaciers in all 7 continents, even in Africa. There are glaciers on top of Mount Kilimanjaro, for example. But usually, in order to see big glaciers, usually glaciers are in 2 places, rather very far south or very far north, at the poles, at the Arctic, Greenland, or Antarctica. But here we are not really very far south. Even if you are in the south of Argentina, remember, if you look at the map of the world, you clearly see that there is much more land mass in the northern hemisphere than in the southern hemisphere, right? All the continents are like this, no? So there is much more land closer to the North Pole than closer to the South Pole. Okay, so Calafate is at around 50 degrees latitude south, around 50 degrees. 50 degrees latitude north, you will find places like Quebec in Canada, the north of Maine, the south of England, and the center of France. That will be the latitude in the north, where Calafate is in the south. So we are not really that far south. You have cities in Alaska that are northern than the Antarctic Peninsula. So there are cities, you have cities north from the Arctic Circle, and of course there is no cities here south of the Arctic Circle. There is nobody living south of the Antarctic Circle, sorry. So latitude is the second characteristic. The third one is there is other glaciers I mean, away from the tropics. There is a line in the tropics from the equator, some degrees north and some degrees south, and there is no glaciers. But then there are glaciers in other places. All the big mountain ranges in the world have glaciers, for example, right? But in order to see those glaciers, you need to go very high. Those glaciers are actually usually around over 10,000 feet, right? 3,000 meters. Well, not here. The ice field, which is the source of all the glaciers that we see in Patagonia, you have seen the Gray Glacier, right? Glacier Gray in Torres del Paine. Well, the Glacier Gray has the same source of this glacier, Perito Moreno, the southern ice field. The southern ice field is at only 1,500 meters, so it will be like 4,800 feet. And this glacier, Perito Moreno, ends at only 600 feet. So here we are at only 600 feet above sea level, so we are not also in high altitudes. And that combination of higher latitudes and lower altitudes creates the possibility of having a big biodiversity surrounding these glaciers. So you're gonna see the glacier Perito Moreno today walking in a beautiful native forest. So the glacier is surrounded by forest, and that is also something pretty unique. So all the characteristics together, besides that this glacier is, and here it comes my Argentine modesty, this glacier is the most beautiful glacier, I used to say in the world, but now they discover, you know, ice in the moon, so I can say now it's the most beautiful glacier in the universe. All this, everything you can see covered by ice, but not just by a layer of ice, not just by a little ice, covered by a glacier that it had a height of about 3,300 feet, 1,000 meters. So imagine 1,000 meters of ice, 3,300 feet of ice on top of our heads, right here. And that is how this place looks like during the last ice age that ended. It started about 50,000 and ended around 20,000 years ago. So now we're gonna see a better view. In 1 minute we're gonna see a better view of the lake. So all the lake was covered by ice. Remember yesterday when we were coming from Chile, that we saw this big valley, the Santa Cruz River Valley. All that valley was covered by ice. So the glacier was coming from the Andes mountain range, the mountains, and moving east with a length of about 200 miles. About 40 kilometers, that will be like 28, 30 miles wide, and a height of 3,300 feet. This is how this place looks like, just, and I say just because in planet time 20,000 years is nothing. So just 20,000 years ago this place was like this. In fact, now you can see the sides of that glacier were the mountains. You get to see on the other side of the lake. Wow! Thank you for the very spontaneous.
We are going to see Perito Moreno Glacier. Well, they had a great view, probably. Look at this. Oh, someone. It's like a 20-story building.
Just like in a river, the central part goes faster than the sides. Therefore, the front of the glacier will be more active than the side.
It's gonna get better.
It's gonna get better than this? Wow.
Now, we're gonna walk all together, taking this ramp all the way down to this viewpoint. It's called Primera Balcón, first balcony. Okay. This is like a road. All the paths leads you to this.
Oh my God, that is so impressive. That's amazing. Look at that.
All right, hold on. More.
He's taking a picture of his friends down there. From up here, isn't he nice? It is such a unique glacier. Look at this, right in front of the trees. So you have trees, glacier, and mountain. Wow. Look how deep. Calving, calving, calving. Right there. Wow. Oh my God. Wow. Oh, that was awesome. Oh my gosh. I think that's the active part. Look at the color of that chunk. Look how blue it is. Oh my goodness. Ah, amazing. And the group was in perfect position to see the calving. I hope they all saw that. Wow. Look how huge it is. I mean, you cannot even take it in one shot. Look, and it goes around there. It's like, wow. Oh, oh, oh. Shoot. Where is it? I can't see it. More. Constant thunder from the calving. Did you guys see the calving?
Yes. Did you find it?
Wow. 5 kilometers. Approximate height 70 meters at the center. Isn't that something? So this mountain is Perito Moreno. And then you have Petrobelli, Teniente Iglesias, Dos Picos. The Dos Picos are not very clear. And Cordon Richter. Richter? I think this calving just happened. The one down there. Wow.
Muy bien, no, para. Ahí, abrazaditos, 1, 2 y 3.
I'm trying to see what's the next chunk that is likely to come down. Right there, down there. First you see the calving and then you hear the sound. Right there. Whoa.
¿La grabó?
Wow. Another one. I just love the marble effect that the glacier has with all the sediments.
Acá está.
I had no idea what size to get. Well, I'm not
He
getting.
was absolutely right. When you're walking, you miss the calving. Oh, look at that. More. I mean, it's all over the place. Wow. Oh my God. I hope I'm taking it. Whoa. Oh my God, look at that. Very active area. Wow. They've done a great job with the paths. Ah, I hear calving.
No. No body there.
Wow. Just climbing up.
Silvestre.
Beautiful day too. The second balcony, and there is calving back there. I can hear it. Ah. Oh my gosh. Where is it happening?
It already happened.
Oh, it already happened.
That's a wave after the big.
Oh, look who's here. I missed it, huh? Oh, wow. I can still see the activity under the glacier. Wow. It's so nice to see little kids here. Isn't that like a work of art? Look at that, beautiful. All natural. We have such a gorgeous day with the clouds and everything. Come on, baby, give me a gift now that I'm here. Down here. Give me like a goodbye burst. No? Look at that custom-made tripod.
Mira cómo le da el sol aquí ahora.
And this is the cafeteria up there. The professionals take photos for you. Nice, huh? Oh, look at the little kid. Awesome. We are here. They have many, many paths. Oh, so the water drains this way. This way. Interesting. Doesn't look like it. I guess it's slow movement. It's a good place for lunch. A banana. Say having lunch in front of a glacier is awesome. And the cookie. And there are people from the Stella Australis here. Lunch with a boom. Oh, wow. Where did that one? All you need here is time and patience. If you have them, you're gonna get calving. And a little luck to be pointing to be at the right place. What did she bring in? To bring out. Okay, back up to the first balcony. They're taking photographs of each other. Uh-oh. Now I need the glacier to be nice and quiet while I'm going up the steps. It's going to be very frustrating to be up the steps and hear the thunder. And what did I say? As soon as I said it. Look at that. She's so cute. And she's on a ladder. And he's on a ladder. Oh. That must be nice. Don't fall over.
1, 2 y 3. Abrime los bracitos, va. 1, 2, ese, levantar un poquito más. Ahí. 1, 2 y 3. Y vamos un piso abajo.
It'd be nice to have one with a group. Oh, look at that one. Where is Carmen? Jump. It's, oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
The group is still down there, and they got it. Look, oh, look at that. Even the little ones make a lot of noise. Where? Oh, it's probably on the other side. Or maybe here. There is flow. It's so nice. I love seeing kids here. And look at the perfect picnic spot. Look at this. They have an elevator. Let's see if it's working. It is working. Do I dare to go in? Let's see. Oh, wow. Oh, this is fun. Wow. Awesome. Hey. Very nice of them. People with wheelchairs can access this. See, no steps. Everywhere you look, it's picture perfect. So the elevator saves me some time, and I'm at the beginning of the green trail. Oh, danger. And they have everything marked so nicely. Really nice. Good job. That's part of our group. It's a woodsy trail. It's going through the woods. Maybe this is where the group saw the woodpeckers.
East and west. East will be in the end the ice cap.
They saw 4 of them. Oh, I think it's really time for me to say goodbye. I hope to return one day.
Ahí indica.
Ahí la primera bajada.
Primer balcón. Hay que ir...
That's vegetation right across from a glacier. Isn't that amazing? And look at the leaves. Oh, that was cute. The leaves are changing color already because it's the end of the summer. Look at that. He said that they get oranges and reds here. That must be awesome with a glacier in the background. And the last goodbye of the glacier. We're about to go. That's our bus.
Sorry.
Look at this. He's apologizing for the nice weather.
It was a magnificent day for me too. Remember that I mentioned that I just came back from my Antarctic season. So this is my first time on the glacier since November, when I start my Antarctic season, late November.
Oh wow!
So it's a really good day wonderful day to discover the glacier one more time. And that was those who have seen the woodpeckers, right?
Oh yes.
It was very special. Woodpeckers are very territorial. So I was walking and heard far away, the call of the woodpecker. So I called them with my phone. The sound. Yeah, it sounds. Yeah,
can we hear the
weird,
sound?
but yes, I can show you. And being so territorial, if you call them, they're gonna come to see what's going on. You know, who's in my territory. I usually do it only once. I try only once. I'm not very pushy on it because I don't mean to disturb them much. This one is about the name of this glacier, Perito Moreno. Who was this guy, Perito Moreno? It was named after a person that actually his name was Francisco Moreno. Francis Moreno. He was a perito. Perito is a title or degree that we gave to somebody which is expert on something. And you know, in the late 1800s, when basically Argentina and Chile occupied Patagonia, it was late 1800s, the countries needs to find out where the border between both countries should pass. And along our history with Chile, we have our differences, you know, at the time that we have to set up where the border should pass. We never went to war with Chile, and that is something that we are really very proud of. In 200 years of history as an independent country, sharing more than 5,500 kilometers of borders, we never went to war, but we have a lot of conflicts. And one of those times was when in the late 1800s we need to set up the limit here, the border here in South Patagonia. So we couldn't get along. So when two countries cannot get along where the border should pass and they don't want to go to war, what they do is they call for a third neutral country to decide for them. That is what is called arbitrage. Ironically, in the 1880s, both countries agreed that the most neutral party to decide for them will be the Queen of England. So the Queen of England sent her experts, the Chileans sent their experts, and we sent our expert, our perito, who was Francisco Moreno. And he was the manager of the border commission that, on the Argentinian side. And to make the long story short, thanks to him is that most of Argentina, most of Patagonia belongs to us. So Chileans don't like Perito Moreno very much, but we do. But he's not only important because of that, because that is just territory. He was very important because when the new territories were gained, the government was so pleased with Perito Moreno that they offered him to choose any piece of land that he wants in the new territories for him. So he chose a big area of almost 100,000 acres in the northwest side of Patagonia, at the coast of the lake Nahuel Huapi. If you hear about the city of Bariloche, yes, North Patagonia, that is where Bariloche is. And a few years after, inspired by the meeting that he had with a former American president that visited Argentina, Patagonia, and Iguazu Falls, is that he decided to donate his lands back to the government to create the first national park and to establish the national park system in Argentina. That happened in 1903. The former president that I'm talking about was Teddy Roosevelt. Mm-hmm. He visited Argentina and Brazil and Argentina and Chile. So thanks to him is that we have such a long history of national parks. And I was telling you that something that we are very proud about is that our national park system and the way that our national parks worked. You can see it here. This is
really nice.
It's the best, maybe the best example in Argentina about how a national park can be managed in a way that they can receive lots of visitors without the feeling that you are sharing the place with a lot of visitors. You know, it's like people can spread along in this beautiful system of catwalks, and people can enjoy the glacier without being, rushed or being upset by the people. And the national park system is embedded in our constitution. That means that once an area of Argentina is declared by the state national park, there is absolutely no way back. You cannot take that status out. Now, once something is declared national park, is forever. In order to take the status back, we should need to reform our constitution, which is very difficult. So,
how many are there?
How many? Nowadays we have. It doesn't matter exactly how many, because but the territory. A little bit over 10% of our territory is covered under national park, and you have to add another 5% with provincial parks, state parks. National parks is full protection. Not most all of our environments are all very well represented, except for one. So, for example, the Patagonian forest and the Patagonian steppe are very well represented, the jungle, but only one environment is not very well represented, that is the Pampas grasslands. Because the Pampas grasslands are the wealthiest, the wealthiest, richest soil, so it's all produced, was all turned into agriculture. But otherwise, we have a very good representation. And another important thing, rather than the number, is that we are still creating national parks. The last national park to be open to the public was exactly October 2019. So we are still creating national parks, and this is also that I always try to share, because it has to do a lot with some Americans also. So Teddy Roosevelt inspired Perito Moreno to create the first national park, but also there is an American NGO. It's a world NGO, but was founded by Americans, that is giving now us the lands. They are buying the lands and giving the lands to the state, because they trust also in the national park system in Argentina to create national parks. And that NGO is named the Conservation Land Trust. Conservation Land Trust. Maybe you hear about them. It was created by two Californian hippies from the 1960s. In the 1960s, they just got those Volkswagen minivans, put the climbing gear inside, the surfboards on top, and they drove from Ventura, California, all the way down to Patagonia, skiing, climbing. They were professional.
Sebastian is telling us the story of the backpackers that led the land conservation efforts in Chile and Argentina. These were no ordinary people. One of them in particular was Doug Tompkins, the founder of the extremely successful brands The North Face and Esprit. Doug, during his backpacking trip, fell in love with Patagonia. He returned in 1968 and made an adventure film before there were adventure films about his climb of the Fitzroy Mountain with a group of buddies that called themselves the Fang Hogs. Doug decided to turn his back on business and devote himself 100% to conservation. In the 1990s, another business powerhouse, the CEO of the very successful Patagonia brand, also gave up her career and followed him to Patagonia, the place, where they got married. He founded the Conservation Land Trust with a purpose to buy private lands and turn them over to the governments of Chile and Argentina to be protected forever for future generations. These two amazing people focused their energies and over the years have protected millions of acres of land and have created a spectacular number of national parks in South America that is still growing. The number is still growing. These protected spaces also give them the opportunity to help regionally threatened or extinct species, like the iconic puma, the jaguar, the Andean condor, and the giant anteater. Unfortunately for the world and his devastated wife, Doug suffered a kayak accident in the south of Chile. They were not able to save him. He died of hypothermia in December 2015. There are very few people that have made such a positive impact on the health of our planet as Doug Tompkins. He had said himself that the best memorial is having people walk the parks that he helped protect. And he was absolutely right. His equally amazing wife, Chris, continues the conservation and the rewilding efforts to this day.